Now, one of the fantastic things about this little baby here is that it can play a lot of games that came out on last gen and even current gen hardware, such as Dragon Quest Builders, which is the game that we're going to be looking at, the port for the Nintendo Switch, which has just recently been released, along with resident crackhead Jason, who we've both been playing a fair amount of Dragon Quest Builders. Myself on the PlayStation 4, I haven't actually played much of it on the Switch. So can you convince me about a game that's as simple as picking stuff up and all this other garbage? Is it a fantastic portable experience as well?
So that is the big thing to clear off straight away with Dragon Quest Builders, as opposed to Dragon Quest RPGs and Dragon Quest Heroes games, where it's all about fighting, it's all about all that kind of stuff. This is your character is charged with rebuilding. So there's been this grand cataclysm. You have to rebuild the universe after all of this stuff has gone down. So the emphasis isn't on fighting. They actually actively discourage you from fighting. But the idea is to gather resources, do all that Minecrafty stuff. Let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. However, because it has its own storyline, it has sagas, has all that kind of stuff, it does something unique and different enough that makes it interesting. That covers the game in general, of course, which is the game that you've played. The difference, of course, is the portability of the Switch. This is the kind of game that it really encourages you to play it portably. Yeah, it's a perfect game for half an hour session on the bus, or waiting for someone, or lying in bed. So you don't have to turn on all the hardware. It's probably one of those games that really suits what Nintendo are going for more than many others.
Yeah, I find that probably one of the best parts about the game in particular is that it fits the mantra of the Nintendo Switch incredibly well, where it's like, no matter where you are, if you're playing on the bus, you're playing on the train, you're playing at home on the dock system, everything just works so succinctly. The game performs extremely well despite all the polygons and blocks on display.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic and never misses a beat.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like, it may look a little bit less polished at parts than the other ones, but it's a pretty simple art style, so it still works. It's not like it's going for that high res, like HD renders of faces and stuff. LA Noire, Doom struggle a little bit more on that front.
Honestly, I won't care if I've got two polygons off my Cypress stick.
Correct.
Like, I do not care.
And that is why the simplicity of Dragon Quest Builders works on that front, because as much as it is about how pretty it looks, and it does have nice art design. I mean, Toriyama's problem has never been that his art isn't cool or easily approachable. It's just that it's samey, and that's always been the case for Dragon Quest anyway. But it still looks nice. I like the way the gameplay mechanics work. I like setting up your little towns, building your houses, all that kind of stuff. And I think its grid-based system works for me more than, say, the freeform Minecraft style.
Well, I've genuinely found, especially when it comes to playing on the PS4 on a home console, I like the idea of having some sort of like really free-flowing story, which gives you enough motivation. Like, I do have a bit of a creative side, like, but you can only play games like Minecraft and Little Big Planet for so long until you just go, what do I do?
You really
next?
need to be one of those crazy auteurs to appreciate those games as much as things. Whereas at least if you have some driving motivation, it's much easier to say, I'm going to do it, but this is how I'm going to approach this problem.
And I think the whole creativity and freedom really owes it to Dragon Quest Builders, where it's like, you can, here's this main objective and get to it however you want. And I think succinctly it works extremely well. But working portably, I think you've just convinced me, because when it all comes down to it, Dragon Quest Builders, it's still a fantastic game, a great alternative to Minecraft, and a good spin-off in particular. But when it all comes down to the Switch port, as far as mechanically and even just aesthetically, it just clicks.
The word is Switch.
Oh, sorry. Can we try that again?